I'm ready to paint the gift, the box itself, the yellow-green color. And before I get started, I have my paint mixed, but I'm going to make a value scale so that I'll have all the colors I need when it's time to paint. So I made this little chart that I'm going to put all my colors here, and I'm matching them up to the grays that are on the value scale. So let me start by mixing some colors. So the green that I made, now let's see, what value step is that? So when I squint my eyes, it looks around a 4 or a 5. Yes, it's very close to 4 or 5. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe it's like a 4. Okay, I'm going to say it's a 4. So it falls right in the middle of my value scale. Then, so I need to make a little bit lighter. So I add a little bit of white to the color. And then I'm going to take a bit of this and add more white. And the level 1 is white, or the lightest that you can possibly make it. Level 1 is like white with just a touch of the color. Okay, so I have, so far, right here. Now let's see, I want to match it with the values that I that I have on my value scale. Put that here. Okay, so let's start with the color itself. So I said that one was a 4. That looks about right to me. Yeah, it looks about a 4. Okay, then we've got the 3. Let's see. I think it needs a bit more white. Okay, that's better. 3, 2. Good. And 1 is pretty much white with just a little touch of color. Alright, great. Now, my shade colors, I do not want any white in that because it'll make it turn gray, because the shadow colors have, they have all 3 primaries in. So, I'm going to make sure I don't get, but I need a 5, 6, 7. So if this one is a 7, I'm going to take a little bit of it and add it to my main color. Okay, that looks good. And then a bit more. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So, let me grab a different brush and so now Okay, I've got my 5. 5, 6, 7. Let's see what the 6 looks like a little bit more. It's looking a lot like the 7, so I want to make sure I made it darker. There we go. I think I just need an extra layer. Okay. Cool. So there's my value scale. Now, I know I'm ready. I have everything sorted out. I know I'm ready for my painting. So when I look at this here, now that I'm ready for the gift section, I'm going to figure out which values go in different areas. So let me see here. I have a different color Sharpie. Okay. So looks like near the edge, this is a 2, and it goes 2, it's like 2, 3, 4. And say this is about a 5. The light part looks like a 2. This dark part is like a 6, 5, like a 3 over here. So I squint my eyes a lot, and to try to see 4 to 5, to try to compare. I'll look at both of these at the same time while I squint my eyes. Over here looks like a 2 or a 3 to 5, 5, we'll say a 3 there. Okay, so I feel pretty ready, and this is for my chart. Like, I'm charting all the sections, but I'm going to look at I'll look at my original photo and, the color photo, but this one I'm looking at for my values, so I can match my values to the color. So now, time to paint. Okay. So I've got my painting here. So I'm just looking at the box area, the green, and I got all my colors. So the technique is just looking at, I'm doing a lot of blending, noticing I've got a dark line here. So I'm using the number 7 on my value scale for these darkest areas. I'm just putting these in so they don't get lost in the painting. I'll end up blending into it. Alright, cool. Alright, so now I'm going to look at my chart. And I am going to start. I'm going to start right here. Now, this being my first layer of color, it's going to be thin, and I'm going to be making adjustments, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, so then that's the 5. Which has some of, it's to the right of my original color, so that means that it's got complementary color in it. So I'm not mixing that with white. I'll make sure that it doesn't mix with white. So this section here goes 5 to 3. So I'm going to use my original color before I go to 3. Because 3 doesn't have any complementary color in it. And neither does 4. So I'm using my 4 and 5 over here. Make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to let that dry, and I'll go back in with a 3 and lighten it up. Okay, over here is a 4. Just remember, I don't want white to mix in. Okay, this I have 5 to 4. So I've got a little shadow color over here. Here's one of those hard edges. To 4. Awesome. And let's do the middle over here. And this is going 4. That's the original green. 4 to 3. 4 here. And then it gets lighter. Now it feels like this needs to be a little bit darker, but I think, let me see, maybe I can work that in there. I may need to just let it dry, and then I'll get, the surface is just so slick right now. Alright, now we got a 5. And then it gets darker, it's like a 6 up here, and into a 7. It's dark right along this edge here. Dark along here. Dark, a little bit darker. And then there's some parts along these front edge here that I want to get, and get some light on here. And here. Is that it right there? Yep. It's really light. And all this too is just the first layer, like I said. It's going to look streaky. And as I continue to paint, it's just going to get better and better. It gets a little bit darker up in here. Cool. A little darker in here. Alright, so yeah, it needs to dry, this section. I gotta leave it to dry. Otherwise it's gonna get all these little weird brush strokes on it. So, I'm gonna let this be. And next thing is to mix the color of the bow and its shadow color. And then I can paint that part while this is drying. Yay! Awesome!